Faith matters.
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 It's impossible to please God without faith. Faith Matters with Luke on GCR.
Faith matters.
Welcome to Faith Matters. My name is Luke Murfitt on Faith Matters GCR Genesis Christian Radio. And in the studio we have a very special guest with us. We have Jonathan Newman. Jonathan is a musician, an artist, and has a lovely heart for Israel as well. Jonathan, welcome.
Hello, Luke.
I think I'm going to call you John from now on, if that's okay.
John will do.
Absolutely, John. John, it's a pleasure to have you here. This is Faith Matters. Welcome. And if you're tuning in for the first time, a really, really big welcome. Thank you for coming and joining us. We've got a great show lined up. This is Faith Matters with Jonathan Newman, playing live music all the way through. All the music you're going to hear is John. Here we go.
Sing for joy to God our strength. Shout joyfully to the God of Jacob. Raise a song, strike the timbrel, the sweet-sounding lyre with the harp. Blow the trumpet at the new moon, at the full moon on our feast day. For it is a statute for Israel, an ordinance of the God of Jacob.
matters.
Faith matters.
Faith matters.
Faith matters.
Faith matters.
Faith matters.
It's impossible to please God without faith. Faith Matters with Luke on GCR.
Faith matters.
That's right, Faith Matters. This is Luke Murphy on Genesis Christian Radio. In the studio today we have a very special guest. We have live music, we have all pre-recorded music. It's all music by none other than our good friend John Newman, who has his own label and his music available on Amazon. John, welcome.
Hello Luke. Good to be with you today.
It's good to have you. John comes with a wealth of talent and experience and a lot to give. He has a lovely heart for Israel, isn't that right?
That's right.
A lovely heart for the Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Faith matters indeed. Faith is so important. We're here to really sort of like just look into more into exactly how faith has been applied in your life and how you've really sort of how it's impacted you in your music. And I think we're going to have a wonderful hour. So if you're joining Faith Matters for the first time, welcome. If you've come on before, then that's superb too. I just want to take this opportunity to also talk about the Facebook page called Faith Matters. It's a Facebook page, Faith Matters Online Christian Radio. If you type that into the search, Faith Matters Online Christian Radio, search for it. So far we've got about 2,800 followers, which is wonderful. We love each and every one of you. Thank you. It's updated regularly with inspirational scriptures, and there'll be songs that we've played in the past. There'll be John's music on there, there'll be links and all sorts of things. So do like the page, follow it, share it with your friends, share it on Facebook, get the link, share it on your WhatsApp, and tell other people about Faith Matters. Repeated every Monday too on 7 p.m. John, so welcome to the studio.
Hello.
I asked you to come on because I love what you stand for. I love the things that you've done with music and the things that you've got to come. You've got a lot to offer, and I think that people need to hear that. And I'd really encourage people to, after this, to take advantage of the internet and to be able to find you. I think they'll be able to find your things by typing in. Perhaps we'll be able to find out. How can we find you?
JonathanNewman.org.uk.
JonathanNewman.org.
That's my website, and I have another website, gsgmusic.co.uk, I think,
okay.
or .com.
All of that will be available on the
It'll
YouTube.
be on the link.
Yeah, sure. This is going to be put onto the YouTube YouTube channel, so we're going to have that on, and it will come up on the screen. You'll be able to look it up, and also we'll have it on the Facebook page, so you can find it through there. But when they go onto the website, what can they expect to find?
Whatever I put up. I do it myself, so it's however I update it. I can't say I'm a web designer, but you'll see the front page with my albums on there. If you scroll down, there's some demos of different things, some links to some other people I've worked with in the studio. I've got my own studio where artists come in, so there's links to them as well. And I don't know, I may have a link to Genesis Christian Radio soon on there as well.
Amazing, wonderful. Well, it's great to have you on, and this won't be the last you hear of John's music, because obviously we'll be playing on Faith Matters, and also during the week on GCR, Genesis Christian Radio, so you'll be able to hear it. If you're not listening on the app, then do look up the app, TuneIn app. TuneIn is what you type in, get the free version on your app store or iTunes store. Download the app and look for Genesis Christian Radio, favourite it with a little heart, and then you can listen to Faith Matters and any other programmes on Genesis Christian Radio whenever you can, whenever you feel like it. But 4 o'clock every Sunday is Faith Matters. So, John, I want to know more about you. We want to know more about you. Yeah. So, who are you?
Talk about Faith Matters is I'm the son of two very faithful parents. My dad's American. He moved over to England in the early 70s, and basically I grew up as a believer. Grew up with a faith that my parents kind of handed down to me, and over the path of my life, it's been a process of breaking that down and re-establishing it for myself, to plant my own seeds of faith in my own life, and just to grow and to become an arrow in my parents' quiver and go on from where their faith started me off.
So you say you started off. Obviously, you play a wealth of musical instruments. Can you, whenever you record your music, it's all the instruments you record yourself, don't you?
Yes. When I do out, the way I started my studio is I started recording my own music, and I realised very quickly that piano, which was my main instrument, I grew up at age 7. I started playing piano. I realised that wasn't enough. I needed to play guitar, bass, the band instruments really. If I was going to write songs and record them, it's just a lot easier to record them yourself than to get people in at great expense to be your session players, especially when you're 16 years old, still in school, doing music in their bedroom. So it was just something I wanted to do. So I played mainly guitar, mainly piano, but guitar came along later, and then mandolin and flute and drums, just whatever's needed on the track.
Play the djembe.
Bit of djembe, yeah.
Play the little guitar mandolin, is it?
Yeah. And there's I've got a violin. I've tried to learn that, but it's just failed. It's not that easy to pick up the violin.
Right, difficult instrument.
I'd love to play it though.
And one of the most beautiful instruments in the world is the human voice.
Absolutely, yes.
Instrument of nature.
I must say, I don't consider myself a singer. It's just I can sing in tune, and I'd love to have voices like some artists have, but no, I can sing what I need to sing for the tracks, and with modern day technology, it makes it sound even better. So.
Yeah.
I call the studio my instrument. Actually, when I record, the whole studio becomes my instrument. So it's not just the actual instruments going in; it's the software involved, the mixing involved, the chopping and changing around.
And what you write music, you play music, you release music, you do a lot for events, weddings, funerals, dedications, all sorts of things. You play a lot with people from Israel as well, don't you? This is music. Music's wonderful, but what's behind all of this? Why do you do it?
Behind it, it's just how music impacted me at the beginning. I was just aware that music has such a powerful effect spiritually to us. When we're finding it hard to connect with God, we're finding it hard to tune into what He's saying. Music has a prophetic kind of thing, a prophetic means, hearing the words of God. And music does that. And there's a place in the Bible, 2 Kings, verse 3 talks a bit. The king of Moab just came up against the king of Israel, and he came to Judah and said, "Please help us fight the king of Moab." And at that point, they ran out of water. Long story short, they ran out of water, and they're saying, "What are we doing? God, it seems like God has called us together in unity again," because Israel and Judah had separated at a certain point, but they united against Moab to quell the uprising there. And they call for Elisha, who is the servant of Elijah, and he has trouble. Long story short, again, he has trouble hearing from God, and he calls for a minstrel to come in and play. And it says, as the minstrel played, the hand of the Lord came upon him, and he could prophesy. And I believe that's the power in music, that the hand of the Lord comes on people, and things that are stuck can start moving again. The blockages in the spiritual realm can start moving the prophetic voice of God into our here and now. And that's what music does, and that's why I'm so into it.
It's lovely. Music is very powerful. We're going to hear music from John Newman. We're going to hear live music here in the studio. Here's his guitar and piano here. And we're also going to hear, as you can hear in the background, music. That's actually John's music which he's played, which he's put together for us to be able to have in the background, which is wonderful. So the next song we're going to play is called For You Are Good by John Newman, of course. Lovely song. It means a lot to me. It's one of the first songs I heard of yours, actually, since you started recording properly. It was years ago, and it was about 14 years ago.
Wow,
and
a long time ago.
Yeah, I got married 14 years ago, so we had it at our wedding. The theme of our wedding was God is good, and it tied in so beautifully. and I know that it touched many people at the time, and the song, that is. It was sung live by Jude, then Jude Newman, now Jude Graham, and of course you did the backing song for it, didn't you?
Yeah, I wasn't there, unfortunately, so I put my parts on it, and Jude had to sing along live.
It was lovely. Well, this is called For You Are Good, and you have Jude Newman singing in the background, plus John. John's obviously playing all the musical instruments, and this has quite a special meaning for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was reading in the Bible this part when Solomon dedicates the temple, and the priests were singing, "For you are good, and your mercy endures forever." And I heard this tune, "For you are good, and your mercy endures forever." I heard it in my head, and then I recorded that and bolted it with another song, and here it is.
Descend on me and fill me with your life. For you are good, and your mercy endures forever. For you are good, and your mercy endures forever. And your mercy endures forever. For you are good, and your mercy endures forever. Lord, you are good. Come fill this soul with your presence, Lord. Let the cloud of your glory fall on me.
Matters on GCR with Luke Murphy.
Send your presence, Lord. Send your
Welcome to Faith Matters. This is Luke Murfitt on Genesis Christian Radio. Faith Matters is the programme every Sunday 4 till 5 p.m. We're having a lovely time, and we've got John Newman here with me, musician. And John, tell us more about yourself. What do you do every day?
Well, every day I'm a sound engineer for Sky at the moment. I work for Sky News, Sky Sports, whatever they put me on. I was full-time sound supervisor in news, and I gave up that for certain reasons, to set up the studio, and also my conviction to follow Shabbat as more of a kind of a benchmark in my life. If I'm going to take every Shabbat off, I'm going to have no holiday left. It's a day of rest, I just wanted to do that, and with shift work it's very difficult, and it was a step of faith for me to go from full-time work into the unknown world of freelance, but it's been the best thing I've done, and God has blessed that decision. I'm a sound engineer. That brings in the money, and on the side I work 2 days a week for a local church that called me there, and I know it was God calling me there to lead the music, to lead the worship at that church. And also I run a studio in my house where I have various artists come in and record their albums. They got a song, they can't play anything, they give me the song, we work on it, I play everything, I get an album out for them. That's what I do in short. Lovely.
You've got your own studio, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
So that you can record music.
Yeah.
To date, how many have you recorded?
How many albums in that studio?
How many songs?
How many songs have I recorded? Is 3 albums.
Or nearly finished.
For me, it's been 3 albums worth of, which is hardly anything, because I've got a database of maybe 800 songs, something like that. Just the folders full of unfinished songs. Some finished songs, but the words aren't finished yet. And,
Tell me, the words aren't finished yet. So you've got lots of music. Why aren't the words finished yet?
Well, when I create music, I don't sit down to write a song. That's the difference with me. I find it needs to be a natural thing. So I'm walking along in a field, going home from work, on the train, get a song. I've got my phone with me. I record the song, go home, play it on guitar with whatever words come out. They don't make sense half the time. I've just forgotten what you've asked me.
Why is it that many remain unfinished?
Yes, that's right. Because I'm a believer in it. I just don't want a song to sound like it's forced, like it's made. It needs to flow, and I find the words the most difficult thing, because you just have to be in the flow of it. It has to be very natural. And what I actually do is on the tracks, I record the backing tracks. They're all, a lot of them are completed. But I kind of sing in tongues over it. Just whatever comes to my mind, I just focus on God, focus on maybe what the song is about. I get the theme of the song, I know roughly what it's about, I know roughly what the verses are going to be about, but I just sing in the Spirit and let Him just form some words together as it flows. Yeah. And then I go back and listen to it and say, oh, that sounds like that sounds like that. I'm getting that means that. And then I write the words roughly what I think it sounds like, but it takes a long time to naturally let the song flow.
So these words aren't just yours, they're the Lord's.
I want them to be His, but yeah, you never know what they are coming out of me. But I trust they are God's words coming to me.
Well, listening to a lot of your music and knowing your heart, I'm sure that we can be pretty sure on that one. However, there's a lovely song which I know, which you didn't write the words for.
I didn't.
Which we're going to actually play next.
Great guy though, wrote the words. Amazing.
His name is
his name's Solomon, or Slow-Mo as they would have called him in those days.
Solomon. Solomon from the Bible. Now this is you do all sorts of music, and this is quite an unusual one because you call it Solomon's Lament, and Solomon's Lament is literally from Ecclesiastes 1:5-11, I think.
Yeah.
Starts off by saying, "Also the sun rises and the sun sets, and hasten into its place. It rises therefore again." It's a lovely song. It's a song which we're going to hear now, called Solomon's Lament, and I want you to sort of listen to this because to me, I think it's a masterpiece, and it's something which is incredible in terms of the way you put this together, with the music, the way it all fades together, all done by yourself in the studio. Is there anything you want to add to this?
I'd say it's my lament as well as Solomon's. That's what I found over my life. I just don't understand the world.
Solomon's Lament.
Then turning to the north, the wind continues swirling along on its circular course. All the rivers flow into the sea, yet the sea is not full. To the place where the rivers flow, there they flow again. All things are wearisome, man is not able to tell.
Faith Matters on GCR with Luke Murphy. That was John Newman. My name is Luke Murphy on Faith Matters,
and we have John Newman with us. Who, the name of your musical, your record label?
Record label, well,
your own one.
GSG Music comes from Green Street Green Music, which was the church I went to at the time, and I thought it's going to be a big thing happening there with music, and God works in mysterious ways. It hasn't quite happened like that,
but it's still GSG.
Still GSG Music.
Yeah, lovely. We're going to get a live song now playing. You're also going to get me playing on the djembe to back him in the background. Perhaps you can tell us first. It's not about. Yeah,
I've done another song which I wanted to play, but it's not finished yet. Again, the words aren't. But it's not about the music. This with music with me. It's not about the music. It's about the message. And when I get songs, I get the message with it as well. I wish I got the words as they would be, but I don't get the message, and you have to formulate that into words. So this is one of the songs. I was walking through the desert in Israel. I had a trek in the Ramon crater. It's just an amazing time. And I was just thinking, tomorrow I have plans, and I'm thinking about them as I walk along the road here. And I'm like, why am I thinking about tomorrow? And I'm here, and today I've got to enjoy today and look around. And it happened that the plans the next day that I had were completely wiped off the map because I hit my head on something, end up in the hospital, and I didn't end up doing my plans, which was a 3-day trek into the middle of the Negev. It didn't happen because I ended up in hospital, and you just don't know what tomorrow brings. So basically, cherish the day, cherish here and now, because tomorrow is still coming. It may not happen the way you have thought it would be. It may not even happen at all, which is one of the verses of this song. So just listen to the words. It's got a message in it.
Great.
Cherish the day, cherish the here and the now, 'cause yesterday is gone, tomorrow's still coming. You can't see the way, 'cause there was never a way. The path is unfound until you move forward. What of today? 'Cause yesterday's still in my brain. When I was strong, when I was lonely, is there a way? A way I can see there's a way. Let bygones die. Decide where I'm going. Cherish the day. Cherish the beautiful day. 'Cause that's where I'm found, and that's how you'll find me. There's nothing to say. The universe gives and it takes. Yesterday's strife is tomorrow's healing. Can you hear? There is a voice from the grave, and it ricochets off my consternations, and I hear him say, today is now out of reach, tomorrow will lie until it's all over. So cherish the day while you can call it today. Tomorrow is gone. In thinking of it, there can be life, there can be work in the light. We can build tomorrow's future here.
Oh, great. Good. So, welcome to Faith Matters. My name is Luke on Genesis Christian Radio, and it's a pleasure to have you with us. And, faith comes by hearing the Word of God.
Faith matters. Faith matters.
Faith matters.
Faith matters.
Faith matters.
Faith matters.
Faith matters.
It's impossible to please God without faith. Faith Matters with Luke on GCR.
Faith matters.
Indeed, faith matters, and I really hope that you can come join us regularly on Faith Matters every Sunday, because the object of this programme is that each person listening would consider faith, would consider the purpose of faith, and really find out what the reason for why so many people are so passionate about Jesus Christ. What is it that drives them? Why? I know for me, it's not to show off. It's not for money. It's not for anything else. It's a bit of hard work, to be honest. But nothing good comes without a bit of hard work. And ultimately, if you have faith, you can really move mountains. The faith of the size of a mustard seed, it says in the Bible, can move mountains. And that's because faith really has immense power. Faith in Jesus Christ, faith in God. What does faith mean to you, John?
Faith means getting rid of your expectations, in my mind, over my life. I'm almost 40 in a couple of years. The older you get, the older you realise you don't know anything. And then, as Solomon says, he was the wisest man that ever lived, and he realised that things go round and round and round. Nothing's ever the same. And it's plugging into something in Hebraic terms, is a word called emunah, which is a deeper thing than we in English language can understand as faith. It's more of a knowing, it's more of a deeper kind of, it's a relationship. And faith for me is a relationship where I don't understand. It's something where God is my father and he is holding my hand, and as a child holds a father's hand, they don't understand all the things that the father understands. And that's through every situation in life, through every unclear things that kind of go around in your mind. You just hold on to that hand that knows what's going on, and it's a relationship of holding the hand that gets me through really anything. I've been through some awful times in my life as well, and it's got me through those times as well. I mean, I didn't think it had got me through while I was going through them, but when you look back.
And this is a gift that God's given you, this gift of faith, and the way that you've applied it has mean that you've come through these times, yeah.
Amen.
And you're strong, and you're made strong through Christ.
Yeah.
You're going to play a piece on the piano in a moment for us.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about it and how faith brought you to that point of bringing it to completion?
Well, this is a song that talks about, can you see beyond what you can see in front of you? Can you see beyond into heaven, into peace? The final word, I believe, that God will say in creation is shalom. Shalom means a wholeness and completeness, a return to Eden. And this is what this song speaks through, that we realise we're in transient truth here, we're in a process. One day the truth of everything will be revealed when Yeshua the Messiah comes and reigns on this earth and shows us how it should be. So this song is saying, can you see a little window into that time?
Lovely. And it's called
Can You See Beyond?
Thank you. This is Jonathan Newman playing live in the studio.
Can you see beyond all you thought was real? Can you see beyond everything you feel? Can you see beyond all the dark and gray? Can you see beyond into heaven? Can you see beyond? 'Cause can you see beyond a world that lives a tragedy? beyond, look into the glorious light. Can you hear the sound of a new morning? And can you see beyond into a world of peace? Can you see beyond? 'Cause living second best is not the place to be. Can you see beyond to things that will come? Can you see beyond? Can you live in hope? The heart of a better age to come. Can you see beyond?
John, that was amazing. Thank you. Can you see beyond? What do those words mean to you?
Those words are all about having a different vision, having a different view, a different perspective. They're all about seeing the light, seeing the truth, seeing the reality, and applying it to your life. And it doesn't mean that in your life you feel better about things. You just know that there is another perspective that you're not seeing at this time. And it's a faith thing to reach out and believe that perspective is there, even if you don't see it. We're in a room now, but outside there's all sorts of things that we don't even know is happening. And it's the same where we are. It's just a box, and that's what that seeing beyond means.
Is there another song that you can play for us?
Yeah.
Go for it.
There's another song which is on the album Shadow of the Sun, which talks about. I just had this picture of the sun, and imagining a brighter light behind the sun, casting a shadow of the sun. And I tried it with a light bulb, and it works.
Following out of darkness into the place of the eternal throne. Following out of darkness, all you need is to give your life. Follow as you are, and as you know more, it's plain to see. When the true wind blows so strong into the sails and lifts you on into the world as view has gone, I know that you never lose your way. I know that the wind will carry on until the love enters the lost. Following out of darkness into the place of the eternal one. Following out of darkness, you will realize what you're put here for. When that true wind blows so strong into the sails and lifts you on into the world as view has gone. Oh, I know that you never lose your way. I know that the wind will carry on until the love enters the world. Until the love enters the world.
Lovely. So maybe you can tell us a little bit more about how. I really want to bring in this time before we do run out of time about the importance of Israel to you. What does Israel mean to you? In other words, what does it mean? What does the Bible tell us about Israel?
Well, Israel is a really significant moment in our lives, in our lifetime. We haven't had this significance of Israel for best part of 2,000 years. It's the Yeshua, Jesus, gave a prophecy. I can't remember where it is, but everything came true. Leave Jerusalem because it's going to be destroyed. It was destroyed by the Romans, and then Jerusalem. The temple was destroyed first. Then the city of Jerusalem was destroyed 100 and whatever years later completely, and Jews were banned from going back there. And it's only recently that we see there's establishment of a state. And that's significant because it says somewhere, which I can't think of where, but the Torah shall come forth out of Jerusalem. And I have this belief that as Israel came back to the land is coming alive. Not only is the desert being recovered and the land is welcoming the people home again, the scriptures are coming to light as well. The amount of archaeological evidence that has come out of Israel since Israel has had the land, the Dead Sea Scrolls being one of the most amazing things, is unbelievable. It's changing our view of the scriptures. It's changing our understanding of first century Judaism and how Christianity merges into that. And it's just amazing that Israel is rebirthing new understandings of what was our ancient faith of Christianity, and that's why Israel excites me, and it's just very exciting to see what prophetically God's going to be doing in the world at this time. It's quite an interesting time. Yeah.
What is He prophetically going to do?
Well, the scriptures say all sorts of things, but I know ultimately Messiah will come back there. He will put his feet on the Mount of Olives, and he will come back to the Jewish people. In some way, they will have their eyes opened and they'll see the Messiah. They'll understand who he really was, and a lot of people are seeing that now. The undercover movement of people seeing that within the rabbinic structure there. So really, to be honest, there's lots of prophecy and lots of people know all sorts of things, but I just want to see what God does. I've known about prophecy. You look back and you see it in clarity. When you look back, how amazing it is. More amazing than we can predict. But definitely we can see many predictions come true that were in the Old Testament, in inverted commas. And we can see that there's more to come still. But when we look back, it's going to be the most amazing picture. We can look back to 1948 onwards and see how God has just been so instrumental in re-establishing the people in the land.
And the Bible says, those who bless Israel, I will bless. Those who curse Israel, I will curse. It's a big one to remember, isn't it? Of course, we're grafted in, and no one, whether you're Jewish or Gentile, in other words, other than Jewish, will enter heaven unless they confess Jesus Christ as the Lord and Saviour. But they have a special place in God's heart.
He's the cornerstone. Yeah.
And Jesus was born a Jew. And of course the Bible is a Jewish book, written firstly for the Jew and then for us to understand.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, it's in Hebrew. We're going to have another song in a moment. We're going to play one which is the closing song we're going to have in a moment is Cherish the Day, is it? It's going to be Whatever I Become.
Yeah, Whatever I Become.
Whatever I Become. So just grab that and maybe you can just talk about Whatever I Become.
Yeah, Whatever I Become is it's literally what Jesus came to do. It's to show us what we need to be. He says, become like me. He says, and one day when we see him, we will be as he is. And it's about focusing our eyes on him and what he is, and that's how we get the power to become what we will be. And there's a phrase in this, it's come from Jewish literature, called Adam Kadmon, and it is a picture of Adam. And of course we know Jesus is Adam, the second Adam, and he calls us to be restored to that point where we become Adam again in the Garden of Eden. Through him, only through looking at him, we can become that state. And the power of his Spirit in our lives transforms us here and now into the state of Adam in the Garden of Eden again. Yeah. So that's what this song's about.
We've got just a minute or two, perhaps, before we just go on to that. I just want to hear, you also, you love singing in Hebrew, don't you?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that for the next 1 or 2 minutes just before we play the song?
Yeah. I was with a Messianic synagogue for a while, doing the music there. It's a Messianic synagogue. They believe in Jesus, but they understand the Torah as relevant to their lives today, and it's a different take on things. And in that, I became the cantor, where I was singing the Hebrew blessings before and after the Torah is taken out, and for different things. And I just plugged right into the Jewish language when it's sung. It just has such a depth to it that when you sing it, I don't know what it is about it. It just connects with me deep down. So I love singing in Hebrew, and I love using Hebrew words because they explain it a lot more than the English words do. When you say a Hebrew word and you know the understanding of it, it opens the understanding of that concept up a lot more than in English. So I love singing in Hebrew, and I know that it's probably similar to what was sung back in the day as well. And
to understand the scriptures better, the Bible, it's great to understand the Hebrew.
Absolutely.
In the background, isn't it?
I can't read the Bible anymore. I have to study the Bible. You can't just read it and leave the context behind. The context is the language. You have to understand what the language is trying to say to you. So good old Strong's is doing the best it can. It's not the be all and end all.
Strong's Concordance.
Yeah, to look at the words. Where else are they used?
Lovely. Well, you're listening to Faith Matters.
Faith Matters on GCR
with Luke Murfitt. John Newman in the studio. Do go on his website, jonathannewman.org.uk. And we really want you to come on board. We'd love you to listen regularly. I'm sure, John, you'll come into the studio again with us sometime?
I'd love to, yeah.
Fantastic. That would be lovely. And, we're going to be able to enjoy this next song which you've done. We'll put some things on the Facebook page. You can go onto his website as well, jonathannewman.org.uk. And people, if they want to buy your music, where can they get it from?
It's Amazon, or through my website you can find it, but it's on just type in Jonathan Newman.
Jonathan Newman.
Jonathan.
Onto a website. Lovely.
Don't spell it like British Gas spelt it on my phone bill. On my phone bill?
Lovely. So we're going to now play Whatever I Become. Thank you for joining us on Genesis Christian Radio, the radio station which does not compromise the truth, which is there for Christians or anybody who's looking for the truth. We're here to be able to give you the truth, and that you might find God, you may find Jesus Christ. It's a privilege to be with you once again. Thank you so much, and do look us up on YouTube. Genesis Christian, Faith Matters will be on the YouTube channel, and also the website through Facebook, Genesis Christian Radio, online Christian Radio. Whatever I become. Thanks, John, for joining us in the studio.
Thanks, Luke.
Thanks.
Whatever I become, I want to become more like you, Lord. To become more like you, Yeshua, oh Mashiach. Whatever I become, I want to become more like you, Lord. son, Yeshua, Moshiach. One day I'll become Adam Catman again. Yeshua.
Just to let you know, this song is actually brand new. It's Whatever I Become. It's his brand new release. You've heard it here for the first time. So do go on and get his new song, Whatever I Become. Thank you.
Whatever I become, I want to become more like you, Lord. More like you, Lord. Adonai, Elohai. One day I'll become more like your son, Yeshua, Moshiach. One day I'll become Adam Kadmon, Adonai, Elohai. Each day I'll become more like your son, Yeshua, Moshiach. One day I'll become Adam Kadmon again. Oh, you're changing me, changing me.
Faith Matters on GCR with Luke Murphy.
Faith matters.
Faith matters.
Faith matters.
Faith matters.
Faith matters.
Faith matters.
It's impossible to please God without faith. Faith Matters with Luke on GCR.
Faith matters.
This is what I'll become.
Genesis.